Before we start to use ERP, we will have a brief introduction today. What are the functions that each module is responsible for? Today, we'll give everyone a simple introduction. Let's first take a look at the first section. The basic data system administration part. Definitely, this module is mainly designed to help you set up some basic system parameters. When establishing data for each factory or each company, some basic parameters must be set first before you can start running the ERP. So, the configuration of some related basic parameters is handled within this module. In addition to setting these parameters, you also need to configure login settings for the ERP system for all personnel, including account login settings and program permission settings. Only then can you start operating this ERP system. This module, Basic Data System Administration, mainly deals with these issues. Next, let's look to the right. Now we see the module highlighted in pink above, Intercompany Trading. This module is for intercompany trading. Indonesia and Taiwan belong to two different company codes. The purpose of this module is to facilitate the company in Indonesia issuing purchase orders to the Taiwan company, allowing them to be quickly converted into orders for the Taiwan company. So, during the ERP implementation evaluation, this module was purchased. Therefore, the main purpose of this module is to quickly assist Indonesia's PTGLB company with the POS it generates, allowing them to be quickly transmitted to GLB Taiwan company, turning them into an SO that appears in Taiwan GLB's sales order list. So this module, Intercompany Trading, handles the intercompany trading function by performing this operation. Next, let's move downward. The next module is Sales Order. As the name suggests, this module is simple. It handles operations related to sales order placement. The entire process of order creation is carried out in this module. So every SO is basically entered into the ERP system through the programs in this module, becoming the company's orders to arrange subsequent production. In this module, another important function is the maintenance of the sales forecast. Sales order represents clear production demand, but for raw material preparation, it relies on the sales forecast. Based on the forecast, it allows material management to have a guideline for purchasing raw materials with long lead times. This helps determine how much raw material to purchase for future order production. So, in the sales order module, another key function is to allow sales to maintain the forecast. These are the two important functions in the sales order module. When the factory purchases the raw materials needed for the orders and produces finished goods, the next step is the shipping process. The operations related to shipping are handled in the export system. Although in the Indonesia region, there may not be much export activity, the shipping operations and related execution details are still managed in the export system module. Maintenance is performed here, including operations related to shipping deductions. These tasks will appear in this module after shipping. On the client side, it will generate operations related to accounts receivable. So, the subsequent operations will move toward the next module, the financial account receivable module. The accounts receivable module. So, when our orders are shipped, accounts receivable will be generated. So this part is the related operations from sales order placement to shipping, and their corresponding modules. Next, let's move on. Looking to the side, we see here the inventory module. The inventory module is not just for warehouse staff to handle materials coming in or going out and perform transactions. The maintenance of these records also includes a very important function, which is creating new material numbers. This function is also included in the inventory module. This function is categorized here by TCI, which is indeed a very strange arrangement. Basically, we just accept it and remember that the programs related to creating new material numbers are included in inventory. That's within this inventory module, and other functions in the inventory module are related to inventory changes. These activities are maintained within this module. They are maintained in this module. Next, let's look downward. What we see is lot requirement planning. This module, abbreviated as LRP, this module is a special module designed by TCI for MRP operations, used to calculate material requirements. Its main function, as the name suggests, from the module's name, is self-explanatory. Lot requirement emphasizes the traceability of lot in its usage scenarios. Lot requirement, in simple terms, can first be seen as an MRP, a material requirement planning system, and this system's main purpose is that when the front-end sales team maintains the forecast or inputs orders in the sales order module, these demands will become the requirements in the LRP module. Naturally, this will lead to subsequent purchasing activities or production work order activities. These supply and demand plans are calculated within the LRP module. To generate planning documents, LRP performs calculations based on supply and demand. The result of LRP's calculation is a set of planning documents. These planning documents in the TCI system are divided into two main parts. These two parts are split into production planning and procurement planning. Production planning refers to what will later appear in the manufacture order and subcontract modules. The documents you see. These documents may eventually be converted into work orders. These documents are what we call production plans, serving as guidelines for material management when issuing work orders. This is one of the outputs of LRP. As for LRP's procurement planning, after review and release by material management, it will move to the module below, which is the purchasing module for procurement. This module is mainly for converting all units purchase requisitions, whether production-related or administrative, purchase requisition needs, into a function that generates purchase orders. This completes the procurement process for raw materials. After the PO is issued to the supplier produces the required raw materials and delivers them to us based on the purchase order's due date. At this point, it enters the import module. The import system module handles import-related operations. If the materials come from a domestic supplier, they will be sent directly to our warehouse. Upon arrival at the warehouse, the first step is IQC. However, neither Taiwan nor Indonesia has purchased the quality control system. Module. Basically, during incoming material inspection, there will only be a simple QC pass operation. Therefore, this module does not need to be operated. Next, let's look at the last row. The last row, we see the first one is product structure. The product structure module has two main purposes. The first purpose is when we create a new material number in the inventory module, if it's a self-manufactured item, such as a finished product or semi-finished product, we must specify the production of the raw materials used and link them under that material number to create a bill of materials. This is what's known as a BOM. The creation of the BOM is done in the product structure module. The operations for establishing it are carried out here. The product structure module, in addition to creating the BOM, has another function, which is creating routing. Since finished and semi-finished products are self-manufactured, there will be production activities. Which workstations do these production activities go through? Which processes are involved? All these related parameters are also set in the product structure module. Next, let's continue looking downward. The module below is the manufacture order subcontract module. This module is also easy to understand. Its function is to issue and manage work orders. Material management is the primary user, using this module to issue work orders, so that work orders can be processed in the factory for material preparation, production and warehousing, among other activities. These are used to fulfill sales order shipments. Of course, another function is subcontracting. Subcontracting involves sending semi-finished products, awaiting production in the factory, or an entire set of raw materials directly to a subcontractor. After the subcontractor completes the processing, they are sent back to the factory for the next process, or for incoming inspection and storage. These operations are carried out in the manufacture order subcontract module. The next module is shop flow tracking. The shop flow tracking module has been implemented in Taiwan. The abbreviation for this shop flow module is SFT. The purpose of this module is to track production progress and yield rates. When a work order enters the production line, through this data, you can determine the transfer quantities of the work order for subsequent analysis operations and to track its entire production progress and status. In the initial phase in Indonesia, SFT will not be implemented for the time being. A paper-based method will be used first to record production details and production progress. Therefore, this module in Indonesia will not be activated for now. Let's continue looking downward. Below, there is a module called Fixed Assets. Fixed Assets. In this module, since we have factory buildings, machines, and equipment, some of which are classified as fixed assets, these fixed assets go through requisition, procurement, temporary receipt, testing, and after inspection and warehousing, they become fixed assets. These operations are performed in the Fixed Assets module. Next, there are also general ledger and automatic posting, as well as modules for bills. These modules, due to differences in tax laws between Indonesia and Taiwan, this module will not be introduced for now. It will be left for detailed discussion when the TCI consultant implements ERP for the Indonesia factory. Further details and implementation will be covered then. The above provides a brief introduction to the modules in the TCI ERP system. and their rough functions. For everyone's reference,